Hey, welcome to August Does Everything. This is the Cthulhu and coffee part of the channel. I don't have coffee right now. I'm getting ready to leave and go to the airport, so we'll skip that part, but we will talk about a little bit about coffee later. This is part of a series where I answer questions about the Cthulhu mythos and other related fictions like The King in Yellow, and horror fiction and Lovecraftian fiction. So blogging and writing, I get a lot of questions about, different aspects of Lovecraft or Cthulhu, and this one was interesting. It was said, what happens when Cthulhu rises again? And I thought, well, that's something that a lot of authors really haven't tackled in the universe. It's more like he's sleeping. When will he rise again? I think let's see, Brian Lumley wrote about that in the Crow series, and Titus Crow, which starts out very Lovecraftian and then turns into kind of more like sword and sorcery or planetary romance, but we'll talk about that later. So the question, when will Cthulhu rise again? All right, this is, if you study your mythology, this is kind of an idea where you set things up for a return. So you've got like Jesus Christ from religion, King Arthur, various other myths. It's kind of open-ended. So it always is like, oh, when will they return? When will they come back? So Lovecraft, when he wrote Call of the Cthulhu, he may have just done it subconsciously. I don't think he intentionally meant to, build up this mythos, because they're not very consistent. And just like he got, he received these nightmares and dreams where he came up with a lot of these creations and things. So I think he was just trying to get it on the paper and not so much try to, like in a game universe now, or something like the MCU or what have you, in an expanded universe, you want it to try to be consistent, which is difficult. But he was more about just getting the ideas out there, sharing the ideas. So, but back to it, this is a very mythic kind of theme, which sets it up for return and kind of keeps people going back to it. It's the awakening, because the Cthulhu's imprisoned in this sort of, I call it necro-sleep, where he's not really dead, he's sleeping, but he's the kind of being you can't really kill because he rematerializes if you nuke him or something like that. So it really hasn't been written. Now, if you're into games or role-playing games, tabletop role-playing games, or you're writing, that's something that you can tackle that would be interesting. And it really just, there's no canon with Lovecraft, and there's no, it's just really up to you. Even if someone else wrote it in your universe, it may be different, whether it's going to be a video game or, tabletop game, you're just writing, just have fun with it. That's really one of the key concepts that we go back to is, it's not canon. And if, it's just something you might want to explore. There may have been some other authors. I can't really think of any right now. If you're open to different things, I'd recommend, it's the Titus Crow series. I think there's about 6 books. I've read most of them. And as I was saying, it starts out pretty Lovecraftian, but it goes into full-on planetary romance / sword and sorcery. Now, if you like that, you're in good company, because the Conan mythos written by Robert E. Howard and the Cthulhu mythos are tied together. And it's very similar to that. A lot of people like, Lovecraftian stories like sword and sorcery also. So if Cthulhu rose again, there would be chaos. Supposedly, there's a little bit of a hint that he, and like I said, it just depends on how you want to play it, that certain people, artists or whatever, are, if they're open to receiving, signals from him or messages like telekinesis or something like that, they can start to go mad. So there's a lot of variations you can have on that. It affects everybody. It only affects certain people. It affects artistic people. Maybe he's starting to wake up. Maybe he needs to be released by a cult. One of the cool things about cosmic horror and Cthulhu mythos and Lovecraft and things is those crazy cultists. So we'll do another episode on those. I think you'll enjoy it. I know I do, and a lot of other people like that aspect of the Cthulhu mythos. Well, all right. I just wanted to get this out before I head to the airport, and talk later. Bye.